Dear Lord, I know there were times I resented you. But please give me one more chance. I was young and foolish. Please, if I were given one more chance, I swear I won't make the same reckless mistakes again. Please. No, I don't want to die like this. I can't. I refuse to die like this. Ugh, what's that sound? Was I knocked out? Did I fall asleep? Then she got up from the bed. I can breathe much more easily after taking a nap. She looked at herself in the mirror and was shocked at what? This isn't my skin. It's too soft and supple. My hair is so long and shiny. What happened to me? Have I been returned to the past? No, I never asked for this. Then she picked up the potted flower and threw it on the ground, and it shattered into pieces. Marriage of convenience. Bianca d'Arno, Countess of Arno and Severin, was infamous throughout both the estate of Arno and the kingdom of Severin for being a wicked wife. Her husband, Count Zachary d'Arno, was a loyal vassal of His Majesty the King of Severin, and a trusted confidant of His Highness Prince Gautier. While Count d'Arno staked his very life on the battlefield, Lady Bianca adorned herself each day in freshly tailored gowns, ordering glittering jewelry from Severin's most renowned jewelers. Sometimes she would shut herself in her room for days. She would scream herself hoarse like a madwoman, destroying all of her precious furnishings in her rage. How many days has it been? The lady has been turning down food, and she refuses to let the cleaners in. 4 days, at least. Shouldn't we do something? What if something happened to the lady? I wouldn't be too upset. Everyone in Arno knows how she is insufferable to the Count. And you know what I think? The lady will pay dearly for it. Arno was a troubled estate, its people weary of the constant changing of leadership. Only after Count Zachary d'Arno became the new lord did the estate settle into a tentative peace. Zachary d'Arno, Countess Bianca d'Arno's husband, has been a frugal and diligent lord. From battlefields he returned with much wealth, and it seemed certain he would only bring greater prosperity to his lands in the days to come. That is, if only it weren't for his wicked wife, who squandered all the fortunes he had brought home. Though the Count and Countess had been wed for 9 long years, whispers abounded that Lady Bianca tormented the Count so severely the two had never even consummated their marriage. The battlefield is a realm of uncertainty. No one can predict what lies ahead. In a clash of steel, an enemy's blade may sever your very life. At times, due to vile and underhanded treachery, you could meet a mysterious, inexplicable death. Have you already forgotten about how the people have suffered when they lost their master? It has already been 9 years since the Count and Countess were wed. 9 years! They don't even have an heir. What if something happens to the Count? I have no idea what the lady is thinking. She is making something with thread. This is lace. Lace knitting became quite popular in my 30s, so I learned how to craft these by hand in the monastery. This isn't a dream. Did she hear us? Vincent, butler of House Arno, shouted. And ask Victor. How old am I? My name is Vincent, my lady. Are you not 18 years old this year? I'm only 18? Where is the Count? He has been fighting on the front lines for a few months now. I had known she did not care for the Count, but how could she not even realize he was at war? What is she thinking? Do you know when he will return? According to our most recent correspondence, he will return in the winter. She asks Winter, and he replies, Victor, there is something I wish for. I hate the cold. I want you to get me a fox fur coat. The fur must be white. Yes, my lady, if my wife desires anything, prepare it for her. She could have lived in great luxury in Blanchefort. She gave up that life when she married me. Surely I owe her this much. Ensure that she only has the very best. That is my responsibility as her husband. I'm sure he was not aware of her spending when he said that. If marriage is a business, Count Arno has yet to make yields. In fact, his business has failed marvelously. Then and now, you were always skilled at bringing me the best. Good work, Victor. It is Vincent, my lady. I would rather have my name be remembered than receive a compliment, my lady. You inquired about the Count's return, haven't you? We have received new correspondence this morning. The Count has entered the territory of our estate. I see Bianca d'Arno, the wicked wife, was foolish, indulgent, and utterly indifferent to her husband. It would be in a very distant future that she came to be remembered by another name, Lady Bianca, Saint of Arno. I am alive once more. I have actually returned to Arno. As I have sworn to the gods, I'm going to make the most out of my new life. I will never make those silly mistakes again. Never. How are you, sir? Count Arno, sir. It has been many years since you were last home. How does it feel? My wife is screaming at the heavens. Excuse me? She seems to be well. Arno Manor, located in the Arno estate of the Kingdom of Severin. The Black Wolf standard is on the horizon. The Count is back. The Count has returned home. The Blood of Steel, Count Zachary d'Arno, has returned home. Blood of Steel, the nickname was derived from Count Zachary d'Arno's silver hair, often soaked with enemy blood, which is said to glisten like a blade tempered in blood. To the enemy, the mere sight of that silver gleam is a symbol of dread. Marriage of convenience. We welcome your return, Count d'Arno. Dinner is ready in the banquet hall, sir. My thanks, Vincent. You have all endured a long and weary journey. Eat well and drink to your heart's content. How was the expedition? It was incredible. You will regret not coming with us this time. You've missed your chance to witness a spectacle of your lifetime. Sover, commander of the Arno army. My prowess in war. Gasper, commander of the Arno army. Robert, commander of the Arno army. Doesn't your mouth ever tire of talking? Gasper, get Sover to quiet down. Robert, you know you're only alive because of me, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? That time I used my sword to deflect the arrow flying straight at you. Damn it, of all people to owe a debt to. Do you know who I'm going to brag about this to? Your wife, your children. Humph. And even your grandchildren will know about how I saved your hide. Ahem, ahem. He turned, looked, and said, Oh, my lady! What a pleasure! Fine. Where is the Count? The Count has returned to his chambers. After returning from war, he prefers to wash himself before he eats. I see they look and say, What a jump scare! She's grown so much taller since we last saw her. She used to only come up to here. Look at that white fox fur. Her spending habits have grown with her. White foxes are rare and hard to catch. It must have been expensive. Sover, that's enough. It is not our place to challenge the Count's decisions. My goodness. You're an open book, Robert. Your displeasure is written on your face, clear as day. That's strange. Why is the lady looking for the Count? I empathize with Gasper's curiosity. The lady has never come outside to greet the Count. 15 years. Or has it been 16? How long has it been since I first saw my husband? But on that day, Bianca went straight to the Count's room, hoping to have an important conversation with him. Is he speaking to someone? So as soon as I arrived home, I realized that I should restructure the estate territories. Please prepare for me a report of this year's expenditures and next year's budget. I'll look over it before I sleep tonight. Yes, my lord. Suddenly he turned and said, Bianca? Ahem. The door. It was open. I wasn't trying to peek, I swear. What is it, Bianca? Is it urgent? If there's anything you need, you can always ask Vincent. Am I only allowed to see you if there is an urgent matter? I heard you arrived home. I thought I'd stop by to see how you're doing. After all, I'm your wife. He hasn't changed at all. He's still as stiff and cold as ever. Why isn't he saying anything? Is he annoyed by that? Interrupted his conversation. He's busy and tired. Should I leave and come again tomorrow? No. You swore not to repeat your past mistakes, Bianca. If I don't take a step forward now, I'll be fated to repeat my original life. Excuse me. I need to speak to the Count alone for a moment. Yes, my lady. The lady wishes to speak in private with the Count? What does she want to say? What an unexpected surprise. I could never have guessed that you wished to speak to me. So, what do you want to talk to me about? Well, Yar. It's a suggestion. It's been 9 years since we married. I'm 18. I'll be 19 after the winter. I want to fulfill my duties as your wife. Your duties? What do you mean? An heir. I'm ready to produce one for the next generation of the Arno family. I want to have a baby with you. There was once an age when the lives of noblewomen were bound by marriage. Before marriage, her fathers or brothers would watch over her. After marriage, she would be looked after by her husband and his family. For a noblewoman without a father, a brother, a husband, or even an heir, there was a time for such women who had no choice but to live a miserable life. What I was saying is that I think it's time we make an heir. Marriage of convenience. To be honest, I'm rather taken aback. Tell me, do you even know what must be done to be with child? He's treating me like a child. Of course I do. This body may be 18, but my mind had lived and died for much longer than he's lived. Besides, in my previous life, we slept together after I turned 20. Remember how relentless he was in bed. Of course I know what it takes. Yar. My maidservants have talked to me about it. I know what I need to know. I have a duty to ensure the next heir of Arno is born. Of course I should know. Then they look to each other. So he asks, "You're confident, is what you're saying? You think you can produce an heir with me in that way you think you know of?" Is he angry? I never harbored any delusions that he would be happy to hear this, but I am scared. I see. You're still afraid of me. Excuse me? Please get some rest. I could also use some sleep. Wait. Let's discuss this another time. What? No. If we aren't able to produce an heir, I'll be doomed to my miserable fate. I won't live like that again. I can't. Please, I can't do this. She grabs his hand, Zachary. He looks to her. She said, "How much was my dowry?" They look to each other. 400 calves, 900 pigs, 100 silver plates, 300 rolls of silk, 2 chests of jewels, and a portion of land. Together, it equaled 2 full years of Arno's budget. The dowry, which the bride brings to her husband's household, is like an inheritance granted by her parents. The husband seldom remembers the exact amount of the dowry. It's not easy to remember, especially so many years afterwards. But there are times when the husband has the dowry memorized. For example, when a husband is ready to seek a new bride, for both she and he, the dowry will be returned in full. So the rumors are true. You must have a mistress. I won't tell you to distance yourself from her. You can see her however much you like. What? I will happily turn a blind eye. I won't get in the way of you two. Instead, let me make my dowry worth it. Why is he making that face? Guess he must be ashamed. No one would want to hear his wife talking about his mistress. Please tell me, who's been filling your head with such nonsense? We'll speak of heirs when the time is right. It is of no use to speak of it now. Wait a moment. No use? Vincent. I know you are standing outside. Escort the lady from the room. Yes, sir. My lady, let me escort you to your chambers. Zachary. Please listen to me. This is very important to me. Zach. Her governess passed away from the plague. The governess who looked after her in Blanchefort. She was the only one that Bianca trusted in Arno. The lady has refused to eat or drink, and she cried day and night. Don't come near me. You were just on the battlefield. You should have at least taken off your armor before coming. I can smell the blood on your hands. When she first arrived to Arno, she cried whenever she even looked at me, and she avoided me at all costs after an expedition, saying she could smell blood on me. But today, she touched me without hesitation. I haven't been able to wash yet. I'm sure she could smell blood on me. Did something happen to her while I was gone? What has changed? We consummated our marriage for the first time when I was 20. Afterwards, we only slept together after he returned from war. Our marriage was childless. Zachary went to war again when I was 25. 7 years from now, he is fated to meet his death on the battlefield. Before that happens, before he dies, I must bear his child, even if I have to force myself on him. 7 years from now, the Count will die. I have to try one more time before that happens, even if I have to force myself on him. My lady, let me escort you to your chambers. There is no need. Do not follow me. I'm fine. Isn't she forgetting something? I thought she came wearing her fox fur. Marriage of convenience. I swore that I would have his child, even if I had to force myself on him. But I don't think I could make him do anything. If I jumped on him, I'd bounce right off. It was so long ago that I'd forgotten how tall and scary he could be. Was he always so muscular? Ahem. I've only ever seen his body in the dark, so how would I know? And how can I hope to attract him with my half-grown body? Even when I was grown, my body didn't change much. I had no curves to speak of. If I were a man, I wouldn't have desired me either. I wonder what the Count's mistress is like. Is she a peasant? Or a noble's daughter? He must be in love with her. 900 pigs, 100 silver plates, 300 rolls of silk, 2 chests of jewels, and a share of land. He memorized my dowry in such exact detail. He must have tried hard to commit it to memory. From the moment he decided to make her the new countess, he's been preparing to send me and my dowry back to Blanchefort. Humph. I don't care who the Count loves. But it bothers me to bear the child of a man who doesn't love me. Just thinking about it makes me angry. You left your new fur coat in my room. It suits you well. Thank you for today. Thank you? What is he thankful for? And why is he talking about the fur coat? Is he trying to tell me that it's a waste of money? In my original life, that happened quite often. What is this, my lord? Is this a coat made from a squirrel pelt? A squirrel pelt? When even sable would barely suffice. Our Lady is so sensitive to the cold. In Blanchefort, her coats were always fashioned from the finest fur. Though you may bear the same title of a count, the house of Arnaud is worlds apart from Blanchefort. How could Lord Blanchefort treat her so? Our Lady was never meant for such a humble home, much less intended for a viscount's second son. Lady Bianca was destined not merely to be a countess, but a duchess. If she needs anything else, ask Vincent. Lady Bianca's governess, Jean, was never shy about expressing her grievances against the Count. Everyone at Arnaud was quite familiar with the way she would yell at the Count's face. Since then, the Count has achieved countless victories on the battlefield, turning Arnaud into a prosperous estate where Bianca could enjoy luxuries to her heart's content. Perhaps his remark about the fox fur was meant to mock me. Either way, never once had I heard words of gratitude from him. To hear him say thank you, come to think of it, that was the first time I'd gone to meet Zachary after returning from the battlefield. No wonder he was so startled. Even when Jean would complain to him, he never so much as flinched. He never once showed any sign of emotion. It was the first time I'd seen him express real emotion. If I keep talking to him face to face, perhaps I can change his mind about having an heir. When that moment comes, I'll be ready to pounce on you. Steel yourself, Zachary. The next day, the Arnaud manor stirred with a commotion like never before. Is it true? The lady sought out the Count. I heard she came all the way out to the courtyard herself. Apparently, she then went straight to his chambers. Lady Bianca? Are we talking about the same lady? My wife was cleaning in front of the Count's chambers. She saw them. The lady left her fox fur coat, so the Count brought it to her and draped it around her shoulders. Oh my goodness! I wonder what happened in his room. The butler was standing outside the Count's door. I'm sure nothing untoward happened. Still, the lady has never acted in such a way. It was also the first time the Count acted so affectionately. There must be something going on between them. Either way, it is good news. The lady is almost an adult. I wouldn't be surprised to see an heir wandering around here soon. Even if that's not the case, I hope they grow closer to each other. I'm sure the lady has had a change of heart. Humph. A change of heart, you say? So she changed her mind about the Count. What really changes then? Does the Count suddenly owe her something? That wicked woman, Anthe, someone is going to hear you. Ha! Who cares? I'm just saying what everyone is thinking. She's a wicked woman who only cares about herself. All the knights and servants are excited for nothing. Have you all forgotten what kind of person she is? She spent years in her chambers, shouting and demanding as she pleased. And since we're on the topic, I would be much better at warming the Count's bed than she could ever be. Anthe, watch your mouth. What a terrible thing to say to the Count and the lady. But the truth is the truth. I'm sure her skin is as cold to the touch as her personality is. She's just like a cold-blooded reptile. She's skinny and unattractive, just like a reptile. She stepped, raised her hand, clenched her teeth, and slapped on the face. Oh my! Dear, what are you doing here all alone? Zachary told me that you would allow him to take a second wife. Thanks to you, I'll be living at the Arno Manor from now on. Zachary did what now? Who is this woman? Is she the Count's mistress? Please don't worry. In your stead, I will support Zachary by fulfilling the duty of his wife and managing the internal affairs of Arno. As for you, my lady, you may retire to your chambers, as you always have. Let's speak of an heir when the time is right. There's no rush. If you need anything, my lady, you may ask Vincent. Wait. At night time, only you can, Zachary. She is lying on the bed, and her eyes are full of tears. Ugh, what kind of dream feels so real? Could it be because of the sting of yesterday's rejection? Marriage of convenience. The Count showed a little kindness to me, which is rare. But his mistress can show up at any time. For now, I need to find ways to cross paths more often with the Count. Only then can I either talk to him about having an heir, or take matters into my own two hands if it comes to that. It is humiliating to beg to let me conceive his child, but what choice do I have? There's nothing else I can do. Why should the Count have to put up with that god-awful woman? Anthe, someone's going to hear you. She looked secretly. I'm just saying what everyone's thinking. Have you already forgotten what kind of person she is? And while we're on the subject, let's be honest. I'd be much better at warming the Count's bed than she could. They say I'm an awful, wicked woman. They say I disgraced my family's name when I begged on the streets. These words were etched into my ears. I heard them so often, it used to not bother me at all. But now, I can't bear to stand by and listen to this. You said I'm skinny and unattractive, that I'm just like a cold-blooded reptile. You know that I am cold-blooded, like a frog or a snake. But I guess you didn't know I was a venomous one. Why else, push, would you speak ill of me, on the very streets that I also walk? You there! Bring me a whip, unlucky girl. I'm in a foul mood today. Do you honestly think I'll patronize, my lady? You forget, there is a line that must not be crossed. How dare you compare yourself with me? A mere servant girl? Ha! She said. Hold out your hand. She is scared. The girl opened both her arms and stretched them forward. The stick swiftly swaying in the gentle breeze. She said, This is for daring to compare yourself to your master. She feels hurt to see this. This is for gossiping about your masters. The girl crying and her eyes full of tears. This is for running your mouth. This is for speaking ill of your masters. Everyone look at them. Someone call the butler. And this is for daring to lust after your master. Suddenly the boy grabs the girl's hand and asks, What are you doing? Who are you? Excuse me, everyone in Arno knows the Count's 3 honorable commanders. Sir Robert is one of the 3 commanders who served the Count before Bianca arrived. He is famous for his loyalty and trustworthiness. I understand that the Countess had very little interest in the Count's affairs. But had she not even known my name? Sir Robert, at your service, my lady. Was Robert one of his 3 commanders? I don't recall me enforcing order in this house. Let go of me! Your punishment is far too excessive. Even if you are a master of this house, I cannot stand by and watch you treat a person like livestock. How did this turn into such a scene? All I did was tell it as it is. She was talking about how vain and wicked I am. That's true, so I understand. But I cannot ignore being humiliated. I have my limits. Just because I'm a cold, bad wife, doesn't mean you can take my place in my husband's bed. What is this commotion about? The Count. What is he doing here?